Rhoda, I'm trying. I'm trying. You gotta say yes.
What's that?
Hey, let me be your little co-conspirator here, your little co-commentator.
Oh, I'm already recording, bro. You're more than welcome to say whatever comes to mind.
Sweet.
So actually, just some background information. Snake gave us some info, some biography. It's actually a fact that Snake's mom drove him to medical school until he was 25. Really loves his mom, that one.
Wow, that's a good one. I'm amazed he didn't have a car at that point. Like, did he have a degree?
Not yet. He was still going to medical school, but Snake,
Hmm.
he works hard. He actually put that his favorite hobby in high school was pitching tents. That can't be right. I'll have to look at that. I'll have to look at that.
I mean, if he can't drive, like, why not just live outside? I mean, it's economic that way.
That is true. That
Really,
is true.
you'd be thanking him. He's saving the planet.
As you can see, Snake's doing kind of a basic opener. He's got his engineers taking the point. It looks like he's going down the east side of the map to him. Let's take a look at Caboose, see what he's doing.
Hey, screen share this real fast, because I can't see it.
Please forgive me for doing this in the middle of the match.
Thank you, thank you. Watch this riveting gameplay.
Looks like Caboose is going both sides, if I'm not mistaken. Looks like he wants to get a wider attack going.
OKW versus OKW. Personally, I'm not too familiar with their that faction. I always get my ass whipped for them.
I will say, man, if it's who I think it is, they have engineers that will melt your infantry if they get close early on in the game.
Yes, I have figured that out. They are a pain.
Caboose is actually his hobbies are including helping the children, the poor. He's big on any charitable event.
Very
Snake
nice.
Snake, however, is the first doctor to do his own lobotomy. His wife is actually thankful to this day.
Was it in a tent?
What's that?
Was it in a tent?
It was his intent. His wife actually asked for it specifically, and he's such a competent doctor. Let's go back to Snake here. It looks like he's still trying to go up that right side.
Mm.
I will say, since he's not spread out, it's going to be a lot harder for Caboose to come down this side. But since Caboose is on the other side, we're going to see if Snake can catch up here. So our first battle engagement. Looks like Caboose is outnumbered 2-1 and has no cover.
Yeah, he's making sure to take care of that cover. Will he get a good flank going? Looks like it.
Oh, an attempt on that nade
Oh,
didn't quite work
double
out for
flank.
him.
All right, getting shots.
See, I'm telling you, man, you get that infantry close to people and they just melt them even early game.
Both have light vehicles up.
It does look like Caboose is trying to bring some people back.
How would this look for Snake? With all the troops being poured into this point, though, is he really capitalizing on the rest of the map? I don't think so.
Well, that's the thing is, Snake, he's got all this area that he's already securing, and Caboose looks like he's committed all his forces to a fight that so far he's not winning.
At best, I could see a tie, but you're gonna have to retreat them all, get them prepared, and up quite a few nodes, quite a few points.
For those who don't know, Caboose and Snake are actually brothers, and they've never played against each other, but are both some of the top 505th players when it comes to Company Heroes too.
I know I can get my ass kicked by a super fist. I don't think I've ever won a game against him. You see here, he's making sure to get some defensive sandbags up. That's always great.
He's sandbagging it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And with those 2 stars, Snake does have the initiative. All he needs to do is hold his ground.
Well, I will say Caboose is starting to get on that west side. Let's take a look at what he's got going on. Looks like he kind of gave up on
A
that east
lot.
push.
I mean, just look at the difference here in map control, though. I mean, that's gonna catch up to him later on.
Oh, that will help Snake immensely in that western area.
My God, it's a slobber knocker.
Especially considering there is, at the moment, nothing to counter. I'd be curious to see if Snake pushes for the full 3-star control.
Certainly looks like that. He has control of the eastern star. He's going for the middle, though he's vastly outnumbered at the moment. Looks like he is securing that western flank slowly. Oh, that was a near hit. Again
Little
now.
known fact, he just destroyed all of our beer supplies.
He will pay for that. Well, if you thought Caboose was out, he's certainly not. Here he is gaining ground all across the board, except the east.
Pretty impressive. I mean, it was a solid diversion on the left side of the map there. It looks like most of his fighting forces are hung back on Snake's side. So I'm seeing some sort of mobile platform. Is that their version of a mortar? Or is that AT?
I believe that's AT, actually.
The Germans do it with mobile water. No, who's coming up from the rear is normal.
That is a
Looks like
solid shot.
Caboose just wasn't able to finish off that vehicle, and now he's taking mortar fire and getting rushed.
Well, it looks like Snake here has a pretty diverse army. I think that could work some favors. It's MG, some SMGs, Russian mortar, even light vehicle. I mean, he's got the whole 9 yards.
While this battle goes down, I'm going to take a look at the map real quick with the fog of war off, just to kind of see where everyone's at. I mean, Caboose is definitely spearheading through Snake's lines, but Snake's doing a good job of repelling it and setting up defenses. He's just getting a machine gun in that middle point. Looks like some anti-tank as well.
I'm seeing these resources, man. I mean, with that initiative Snake had on the right side of the map, controlling it from the start, I'm starting to see Caboose alter.
Yeah, I will say Snake has 77 gas, and that's after he already spent one on a vehicle, so, I mean, tech-wise, he's doing pretty well on these points.
How many buildings do each of them have? Or does he operate like that?
Caboose would have more gas due to his eating habits.
Yeah.
It looks like they're about even building-wise. It's almost like they're both trying real hard to stick around the low-tier, mid-tier area right now.
Well, I know I'm a fan of that. I always play Soviets, and I love to spam infantry. So can't go wrong. He's making a push on left, but I mean, I feel like he's kind of neglected right. I mean, has he even tried to touch it since the initial engagement and start?
It doesn't look like it. I mean, he really wants to break through on the left here. I will say, it looks like he's thinking like we are, that there's a lot of infantry out there, so he's got some infantry support guns, he's got anti-tank prepared, and a lot more infantry coming in the way.
He's really got to hold that anti-tank. With just one, that's really vulnerable.
While Caboose looks like he's spearheading the west, it looks like Snake's doing a job trying to hold down the middle, who also has a infantry support gun.
What I want to see Snake hook wide right with just a little bit of, maybe a mortar or two. And I want to see him in his base. Completely knock him off with his feet.
I will say either one of them could really make a rush for that eastern side, but I think since Snake got that early, Caboose is under the impression that he has it built up over there, less so than the left side.
Hmm. Has he? I mean, we haven't really panned over there. Do you see any sort of reinforcement?
He does have, or now he's in the process of building a Panzer headquarters, which is gonna be pretty good at defending the point. It does look like Caboose probably should have capitalized on his lack of defense over
Mm-hmm.
there. Ooh, a portable or a machine gun running after a mortar artillery weapon.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, already.
We're gonna get chastised. It's not what it is.
It does look like Caboose is breaking through on that west side, though. I gotta give him some credit.
Got it all quiet on the western front line.
That was a sad book. Yeah, well, if Caboose doesn't do something, get a little more headway, all of his friends are going to die too. I'm seeing a pretty strong line here, but...
He definitely has a lot of reinforcements coming through. Snake looks like he's mostly stationary, granted he owns the majority of the map, so it makes sense. Though here he goes west.
Well, he is a doctor.
That's true.
Emergency repair kits have been issued to all vehicle crews.
Is he a chiropractor? I forget.
He is a chiropractor. Graduated from the medical school of Alabama, actually. Graduated from the medical school of Alabama.
Alabama.
And if you think about it, right, it's pretty late over in Singapore. I don't know what he's doing.
Well,
Pretty early, I guess.
Snake's one of those guys. He just puts his nose to the grindstone. That's all he knows how to do.
Right? What are they, 14 hours ahead? 15 hours ahead?
I'm not too sure. I think it might be 4 a.m. for him, to be honest with you. But he's a
Playing this
trooper.
good at 4 a.m. is impressive. Hmm.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
Come on, Caboose, get him.
Oh, and
yeah.
how is it still alive? Oh, there we go. It explodes. That's gonna hurt Snake a little, or excuse me, yes, Snake a little bit. It does look like. I'm sorry?
I'm seeing a lot of infantry support on Snake's side, but not a whole lot of infantry. I feel like if Caboose uses his mortars right, he could roll Snake back pretty good.
Snake's units running back. I'm saying, don't tread on me.
I almost wonder if Snake's doing it purposely so then he can bombard the point, but he hasn't moved his artillery yet.
I know I'm a fan of Artie, but I would be holding my breath for when Caboose decides to finally get some sort of armor to roll through my Artie. If you notice here, he has 2, 3 together with 0 infantry support.
I gotta say, man, that 2-star squad's holding on, but yeah, they need to get out of there. It looks like Snake's already making up for lost time on the west side. Well, I wouldn't have placed my machine gun there, but it was a well-placed machine gun move by Caboose there. Looks like Caboose has mostly got his forces recovering. He's got a nice new vehicle coming out, though. Supply half-track. I'll admit I didn't think that was a well-placed machine gun by Snake, but there it is, cutting off a flanking maneuver.
Why don't we pull up the map and see what it means?
So, is it good enough?
Yeah, it's a lot of action center. Pretty solid suppression on that MG, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's no cover, buildings to the right, pretty easy to flank around that.
Beautiful use of smoke, I will say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, spot on.
Ready for action.
That's as good as mine.
Caboose doesn't have much in the way of reinforcements.
Set. The static post is now in operation.
You know, he does not, and he has all of his infantry support out in the open, man. Those MGs would have been retrieved the second that smoke came out. Doing a solid job pinning. Maybe you can turn it around.
Yeah, he's got this.
Wow. That's,
Yeah.
that is incredible. He made it out.
I will say this Panzer headquarters is going to make it a lot harder for at least Snake to get past there, which is good because Caboose really needs a line to hold him at.
Yeah, with what little territory he has, he needs to make sure that's locked down.
That thin red line.
Oh, well placed grenade. Oh, I'm sorry, dear, I didn't mean to talk over you.
Nah, you're fine.
That is one thing that I'm noticing with Caboose here. I mean, with that shortened supply line, he can just keep people rotating constantly. I mean, Snake has got a real distance to travel here before he wants to do anything.
That is true. That might be why he has so many forces so close to home. Because he's, well, I can't say he's given the middle up. He's got plenty of people there.
All we know so far is both teams will be licking their wounds and eating wieners. That's it.
Very true.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the OKW have a mobile, or not a mobile, but a forward healing post. Is that correct? It's like a truck of some kind. Am I a little bit blind here, or do I not see one on the
They
map?
both have.
No, where are those located?
I'm not seeing any on the map.
Snake did. Is he just past me?
Oh yeah, it does look like Snake's got one at base.
But he's got another one on the right?
Strange. I wonder why he would put it back at base instead of a little more forward. I mean, it would be more micro heavy to get him there instead of just retrieving the base, but I think it'd be worth it in the end.
Surprisingly, I will say for the American medical truck, everybody tells me, or everything I read says that you're supposed to keep it at base, but I don't know. I will say when I don't keep it at base, it explodes half the time, so.
Hmm. Yeah, that's true. He could just try to play it safe.
I think what Caboose is trying to do here is he's turtling now. You know, he's got his area, he's got his star, he just needs to hold on to that to buy time. And he's bringing about as much crap as he can to the front line to keep them as far back as possible. Though, now that there's tanks on the field, we're gonna see how well that works.
Mm. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of back and forth here, and they're both doing pretty solid. I feel like this game's just kind of lacking some dynamics. I want to see a couple flanks here and there, but it's mostly just a meat grind. With
Behind me,
Caboose,
there it is.
with Caboose's shorter supply lines and Snake's superior resources, I mean, they're just constantly back and forth. But
And that definitely works in Snake's favor, considering he has the power position at the moment.
yeah, with all that mortar support, I mean, you have spots to choose from if you want to blow something up.
It looks
a
like
lot.
Snake's gonna change gears and actually, I mean, he's sticking towards the middle, but he's gonna use the eastern a little more.
Interested to see how Caboose responds. If he tries to counter assault somewhere else or reinforce. Looks like he's going for the former. And not winning.
It's almost like Snake made a front line, attacked, and then fell back to that front line and kind of hit Caboose with it.
I mean, that was a solid ploy on Snake's part. I don't think I could have done anything different, though. I mean, from Caboose's response, that was a pretty solid chance to push out, and he just got pinned down, unfortunately. His smoke support did not come in time.
I will say, Snake's been keeping a good job of staying in offensive, even though he has more places. Oh, that's a good grenade. Gonna disable that machine gun for a little bit, but here comes the tank, and
Wow, looks like most of his forces retreated there. With the short supply line, I'd be curious to see if he gets another push right after.
If Snake allows him to, it definitely looks like Snake's trying to use the momentum to move forward.
Yeah.
Just think.
I'm curious what his end goal is.
It's exciting.
Is he trying to make some headway or just finish off those troops that are available? Looks like he's just trying to take a couple pot shots. Although he is pushing forward. Ooh, that's solid mortar on that 2-star. Those quads will thrashed. Well,
So let's say Caboose is ready for that.
yeah. Caboose could maybe circumvent that infantry support. He could have a solid push through those 2 yellow buildings on the right side.
I think we've seen more smoke than artillery this game.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see the artillery.
Oh,
And that's
got a tank.
2 tanks on the field for him. For Snake. I've yet to see armor from Caboose. Does he even have a fuel node?
Yeah, I'll be honest, I know he hasn't had a majority of the game, and even now his fuel's only at 57, which isn't great. So he's gonna have to come up with some infantry ways, creative infantry ways to get around these vehicles.
Yeah, I've noticed the hit and run strategy here with Snake. I think it's probably the most effective. I mean, Caboose really does not have enough to take any of his tanks down, nor the troops to pursue when it decides to run.
Oh, we have a second takeout on the field.
And with only, oh no, he does have 2 AT gun.
I mean, I gotta hand it to Caboose. He's trying to flank from all sides. He's got well-equipped veteran units doing it, and it's just not working out.
It'll be a solid diversion right there, yeah.
Oh, he's gonna encircle that tank. Watch.
Caboose is gonna get encircled if he keeps messing around like that. He might want to get some pressure somewhere else. Solid diversion. If you look at how many units Snake has focusing on these, just these 2 troops, that is pretty sizable. So if he can maneuver towards center or towards right, that'd be fantastic on his part.
Does look like Caboose is moving out some vetted units that he desperately needs up at the front lines.
Yeah. That was a pretty cheap diversion. Distracted at least 5 units for the price of 2. It's pretty good.
Did neutralize the point too as a result, which isn't bad. Buys him time.
Oh. No one moved that machine gunner.
I wonder if we'll see a counter assault in Snake's part left. Maybe he will try to get that 3rd star.
Let's go to player cam real quick and see exactly what Snake's doing here. He's definitely focusing where a majority of the battle is. Looks like he's laid down some artillery.
Did not quite make it to the other side of the road. I wonder if that's the intent. Or if he's just trying to scare Caboose. Oh, take it back. He's finally getting troops over.
Caboose looks like he's searching for that tank. He does have some anti-tank he's moving up right now.
Oh, and he's found it.
One did no damage, the other one did good damage. Oh,
Interesting how rapidly that anti set up. If he loses that,
Pivotal.
yes, it will. Gotta retreat him. I don't know what he's doing with that. 4-star.
That was very good.
Just watched.
You know, considering Snake has had
Oh, he's gone.
Considering Snake has had the advantage majority of the game, the fact that Caboose is only about 150 points off of Snake, that's actually quite impressive that he's held him off this long.
Oh, he's doing
Yeah.
fantastic job.
I mean, what is that? 4 nodes versus the rest of the map? That's incredible.
That
He,
is,
he would have had me in my base by now.
Very wisely using his troops. And with only 4 troops per squad, it's powerful. I mean, it's less manpower to retreat them and get them recouped than it would be for a Soviet squad at like 7.
Especially when you had that base sitting back there.
looks like Snake's trying to
Reorganize.
reorganize in the middle, while Caboose is taking this downtime to go down to the west. Maybe he can even get that fuel point.
That would be key. And looking at the top right here, it looks like Caboose does have armor of some kind. Top right of the screen, I mean.
There we go. He's
There it
a
is.
teeny little tank.
He's got something. I don't know that's going to be the difference, but it's definitely going to help.
It's cute.
Well, if he can get a solid diversion left, maybe
Oh wow, he's getting routed left.
solid diversion left, keep his anti-tank away, so Snake feels it's safe to move his tanks in. He could put that that light tank to use over on the right. You see, there's one of Snake's tanks.
Where's that light tank?
Where's the second?
Looks like the second's back at
base.
base.
Yeah, I mean the middle and right side are pretty much free for that little light tank.
There he goes.
Oh no, that is not a good spot.
Oh,
He has really got to be careful.
And he's already hurt.
but he was so cute.
Yeah, he is. He's not gonna have a good time. I'm waiting for a random pot shot from the AT to take it out. He's got to play it safe to
He's
get
out of
that
the range at this point.
It does look like he's finally sending some units down the right side and finding that there's nothing there.
Ooh, good
Fantastic.
flank. I don't know if I see Bazooka can do that job, but oh, well, maybe now I would.
There's definitely a bit more cover here. A lot harder to get Snake's tanks maneuvered around in there.
He needs to get that Panzer base thingamajig out.
Caboose still trying to work that west side. I'm actually surprised he's as far up as he is.
He's making good headway. I mean, he's taking a couple nodes.
I think for the first time in this match, Caboose actually has more points than Snake.
No, that is incredible.
Impressive.
I just hope he doesn't bite him in the ass with the troops he's had to dedicate to that. I mean, leaves him open for a push from Snake and just push the envelope and end it, really.
Yeah, looking at their units too, I mean, they both have a good amount of vetted units, some strong units, but, you know, Snake, it looks like his unit's been around from the beginning of the game, really, whereas Caboose has got a few squads that look like they might be a fill-in or two.
And he's still not gotten that light tank repaired. I mean, I wonder what he's going to do with that. He's already put the resources into it. When he has that portion of the map controlled, he might as well move it back.
Looks like Snake's trying to recover on the east while Caboose is still pushing on the west.
Tell you what, Caboose has been on point with his anti-tank placements here. He was really not let Snake push out at all with his tanks without getting lit up.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't know how he hasn't taken out any of Snake's tanks yet, because he has done a good job.
I think turrets is incredible here.
We are at 200 points.
I'd like to see maybe some more smoke usage here. I've noticed a pretty severe lack of it when he's trying to hit this left side of the map, and with just how open it is, I feel like it'd be a requirement.
That's a smart play, baiting out the tank like that. Unfortunately, he's got nobody really guarding it. At least this doesn't look that way. Oh, and here comes the second one.
That might be it for his anti-tank. There goes one. If he loses a second, I
Oh,
would.
and Caboose surrendered. That was a good match, I thought. I know Caboose is probably frustrated, but I had fun casting it.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was impressive. He hung around for that long. It's just 4-0.
Did well, but in the end,
Yeah, not quite enough, unfortunately.
Alright, gentlemen, well, this is the first cast of the 505. For those of you who are 505 or not 505, thank you for joining us. I'm Rhoda, this is Wiz.
Hello?
and dear.
And Deer, and thank you again.
My dear. Thank you. It's probably the